Susul.
Hey guys, and welcome to Under the Plumbob, the podcast about all things related to the EA Maxis series of games called The Sims. We avoid the real world by talking about our made-up ones. Each episode will focus on one or several rotating themes, including building, gameplay, lore, and more. This episode, we're going to be talking about the Bobs of The Sims, the Pancakes, and the newbies, that is. I am Melly, and I am one of your hosts. Hello.
Hey, it's Roxy. I'm another host on Team Llama.
And I'm Caitlin, your last host of Team Llama.
We're the team that doesn't have as many tangents as Team Cowplant. You're welcome.
There's still tangents. Forever sidetracked.
It happens. So, why don't we start off with the pancakes?
Yes.
Side note, pancakes are my favorite breakfast food. So,
researching this made me want pancakes real bad.
Have you ever had gummy bear pancakes?
No, that sounds gross.
It's the special recipe you can have when you're cooking and you're playful in The Sims 4.
Yeah.
Really?
They're cute looking. But yeah, these are actual people pancakes, not food pancakes.
Well, they're Sim with the pet last name Pancakes. So we actually got introduced to Bob and Eliza Pancake before the game came out. They were featured in a trailer called Stay Weirder trailer, and Bob was highlighted as the least interesting Sim in the world. And this was such a weird marketing choice for the Sims campaign. I don't understand it, but it pretty much goes through, and Bob is just like, he doesn't participate. One New Year's Eve, he stayed up till midnight. Oh man. And he he's just like, when he fails, he immediately gives up. This is how he lives. And you're like, why? And Eliza is there pretty much yelling at him the entire time, as he's just like, when Bob watches daytime television. Bob is boring. Bob is the most least interesting Sim in the world, is how he's introduced. And I don't understand how, this doesn't make me want to play this game at all. I don't understand it. You guys watched it?
It's so weird.
Some things are better to leave ununderstood.
Yeah.
You can buy a poster of Bob eating pancakes in the buy mode. It's called Stay Weirder. It's 320 simoleons. And the description of that object is pretty much the exact same as the script for the least interesting Sim in the world. But that was our introduction to Bob and Eliza. They are in the... Oh, shoot. What is the first house in Sims 4? I played this
first
game.
Neighborhood? Yeah. Willow Creek?
Willow Creek. Thank you. I know stuff.
I don't know the name of their house, but yeah.
Yeah, they are, if I'm looking at it, they're in the top right-hand corner area section of Willow Creek. I think the second row of houses.
They're kind of adjacent to the starter neighborhood.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, what came first, the trailer or the poster object with the script that they used for the trailer?
Trailer, and then the poster is like a callback? I don't know.
That would make sense. Marketing was like, okay, we did this thing. Now you can use it in your game.
Yeah, we made these Sims, so here you go.
So I wonder if they were trying to encourage you to use Bob and Eliza as your starter couple, since they would be the easiest household to play in that neighborhood.
Because it's just two people instead of the generations of the artistic house over on the bottom left-hand corner.
The roomies.
The roomies over there.
No, they're the BFF household.
Oh yeah, the roomies are in
Oasis.
And the Kim... Oh shoot, what's that one that has the grandparents of two separate families?
The Spencer Kim Lewis.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time there.
of all of those, the easiest one to start off is Bob and Eliza.
Bob.
So the pancake bio is, poor Bob and Eliza. Have they ever been happy? It seems there's nothing one can do to please the other. Just what is keeping this couple together? Or conversely, what is the spark that will finally drive them apart? So they don't seem to be happy.
That's kind of a weird way to phrase it. Usually a spark in a relationship will kind of bring it back together.
Yeah, it's like reverse.
And their house is weird.
Their house is... Oh, let's talk about like the two Sims for a second.
Okay.
Because Bob is... he does have the aspiration to be a master chef, and when you come in, he does have a job, and he is in the chef career, so he's actually moving towards a goal, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a slob, he's a loner, and he's gloomy. Those are his 3 traits.
Yeah.
Eliza is ambitious. Oh, she has that business-oriented one because she has the mansion bearer aspiration.
Yeah, entrepreneur or whatever it is.
What are her other 2 traits?
Isn't she a snob?
So Eliza's traits, she's materialistic, neat, perfectionist, and business savvy with the mansion baron aspiration, and she's unemployed when you start the game.
Right.
So how did these two...
Yes.
What happened?
She's a desperate housewife in the making.
I guess.
But they're very, very middle class. And she has the business, because she's the mansionberry thing, she also has the business savvy bonus aspiration trait with that.
Right.
The aspiration trait. So because I play these two a little different. The reason that I have them drifting apart is that they're both super ambitious and they're not paying attention to each other, if that makes sense.
I don't know if Bob's ambitious.
He has skills.
He's one of the few Sims who has like a goal, like he wants to be a chef, and like he's actually in the chef career. Half the time we start these Sims 4 things, none of them have careers, and you have to just pick one for them. Or they're in a career that makes no sense.
True. It's another reason I think they're the starter family.
Eliza's that one girl in high school that marries someone with goals, and she just stays home and sells leggings all day.
Yeah.
That's Eliza.
It tells how you really feel. Oh my gosh. He likes food.
Yeah. He likes food. He likes eating. He likes pancakes. Do you think they legally changed their name to Pancakes? Do you think it might have been something else before?
I don't know.
And he changed his name at 18 to be Pancakes.
Something like Newbie?
Maybe. Maybe. Just a theory. Just throwing it out there.
We'll get more into that. But their house is weird.
Their house is very weird. It's all very pastel-y on the first floor.
It's like, yeah, pastel and like shishi.
And shishi.
Well, it's like that like country chic or shabby chic kind of look to it to me.
Yeah, and like there's literally a thing for just to hold teacups. And like it's very artsy in a way that you look at Bob and you go, you did not decorate this house.
Right.
This house has nothing to do with you. Except the kitchen is very nice. I will give them that. The kitchen, although it's white.
It's yellow.
It's yellow?
Yeah. Well, like I think the appliances are white, but the walls are yellow.
The walls are yellow.
Which I kind of like because I like yellow, but it is kind of garish.
The walls are half down or all the way down. All the time.
That's true. And the sound is off if you're Marissa and me.
The sound is on, but I'm probably podcast or playing or music. But then upstairs tells a completely different story. And there's different lines of thought for what's going on up there. So the bedroom, if you go up the stairs and you go to the right, you are entered into a very pink bedroom.
Yeah, full ensuite.
There's a bathroom attached. Very nice, very pink, super pink. If you were to go up the stairs and go to the left-hand side, that room looks like it was somebody just moved out of their college dorm and had to fit everything they owned into one room. But they also didn't have anything to decorate with.
It reminds me of like how you decorate a room when you first start playing and you have no money.
Yeah. This is a crate. It's holding the lamp.
Yeah, it's got a crate nightstand. It's got a couple of kids items, like a nightlight and a poster. I think it has a kid's dresser too.
Yeah.
So a lot of people believe that means that Bob has his room, which is the more like bachelor college kid looking room, and Eliza has the more shabby chic room.
I mean, that's normal. Me and my boyfriend have our own rooms, you know? It's our romantic life.
Gotta keep it that 50s housewife. They gotta keep it that 50s made for TV couple.
They slept in the same room in the 50s.
Just in separate beds.
Right.
Or they're pretending like they're royalty. Because they used to have different bedrooms. Yeah. Eliza's living out her Elizabethan queen dreams. Elizabethan queen dreams.
There is one weird thing in Bob's room. The exercise machine.
Yes. He does not strike me as a exerciser, but Eliza does start with at least, I think, a couple points in fitness. Those are her only skills in the fitness.
Maybe he wants to change, you know? He's married now. Maybe he'll have a family eventually. He doesn't want to have a dad bod forever.
He's like, I can't. He's living a lie right now. He has a dad bod, no children. So he needs to get rid of the dad bod so he can get it back after he's achieved the dad status to have the dad bod.
And you gain a lot of weight cooking, like being a chef. So.
Yeah. Eliza probably pressured him into getting it, and so it's in his room because it doesn't fit her decor. Who knows if she uses it, because she's
already fit. She doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I got this.
And she seems to like jogging a lot.
Or it's hers, but it also didn't agree with her decor. She was like, we'll just put it in your room so we can hang out more, honey.
I had this headcanon. I watched, a couple of videos about the pancakes. I watched Plumbella's video and Krill Sims 3, and I'll link to those. But I had this headcanon that appeared in my head that was like, okay, so Eliza wants to marry into a established middle-class family, so this is probably Bob's childhood home. She came in, made over the whole house, and just kept, deleting his stuff until it was just, a small collection of his crappy bachelor and childhood stuff that got stuck into the spare bedroom. So that could be it. Maybe they do sleep together.
I like that. That theory makes sense to me a lot.
It doesn't hold up to gameplay because they don't sleep together when I play them.
I don't know if you know this, but you can control what the Sims do.
No, it's not authentic. I was letting them decide where they go to sleep, and he chose his room and she chose her room. And even when they woohooed, he went off to his room afterward. No, actually, I think they did stay in bed that one time. I need to get back to them because they did have, speaking of dad bods, what if they did have a kid?
Oh, no. Oh, and they lost it? Or are you talking about the one that EA forced upon them?
When they released The Sims 4, they were like, oh, hey, we're not going to give you a toddler stage, and everyone rioted. So when they released the toddler patch, they were like, oh, and by the way, we remade the pancakes with a toddler.
Maybe a kid can save a marriage.
That's the assertion. So they have Iggy pancakes. You can get them off the gallery. I think I have a link to that in the notes. Oh, no, I have a link to the newbie family that they made, but I'll link to Iggy, too.
He's cute.
He's cute.
I don't know why you would name a kid Iggy.
No, I mean...
Especially, that name doesn't fit with, Eliza's decor. Did she let,
Well, here's the thing. Maybe they were watching comedy, and they both like Iggy Pop, and so they named him after Iggy.
He was conceived during an Iggy Pop
thing? Watching stand-up gets them going.
This moment saved our marriage. We will forever remember it.
Yeah. Maybe. There's also no child room in that house. I guess they gave him Bob's room.
Yeah, because in my game they ended up with twins, so that room got flipped around to the twins' room.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who Iggy Azalea is, by the way, Melissa. But I downloaded a rehab of their house, and they had given them a toddler room.
That makes the most sense. But also, they might need a basement. I feel like Eliza needs a basement to shove everything that doesn't fit within her that they need, but does not fit into her ideal of what their adult lives should be.
But again, she's a perfectionist, so it's better to just delete everything you don't need.
Eliza's one of those people, I think, that's just this is what normal is. Normal people do this. That's how that's when I think about Eliza, I think about those people.
That could be.
So when they did introduce Iggy, they were like, their marriage is saved. Woohoo! And everyone's like, oh, we've already broken them up 15 million times, 15 million different ways. So I don't know about that.
There are like two camps out there, and it's pretty prevalent if you do any searching on YouTube. There's like Team Eliza and Team Bob.
I'm nodding my head in agreement, like you can see me. Yes.
No, I can't see you, Caitlin. But most people seem to be on Team Bob. But I know you, Caitlin, are always, and several other people on the team are wanting to give Eliza her best life.
I have a different theory about why she doesn't have a job. Because if you keep her, if like you go in, you're like, you don't have a job, you're just money grabbing. Like, I get why that. But in my brain, I was like, maybe they moved for Bob's career. And so, because they don't know anybody in the area. Also, so I was like, maybe they moved for Bob's career, and they moved, and she doesn't have a job yet. Because how I played it is they both they started to just ignore each other because they both were working. Then they had twins and had to figure that out.
No, Eliza's an MLL boss bitch, living her life with her leggings and her essential oils. I don't like her.
She does stalk every sim that you have. If she's part of your welcome wagon party, she will stalk you.
Stay out of my house.
Have you heard about my most recent pyramid scheme? It's definitely going to work.
I just put essential oils on before this recording.
Oh, well, how much did you pay for your oils?
I feel personally attacked. Let me tell you about what oils have done for me. No, I'm kidding. That's the thing. I don't proselytize.
Well, it just depends how much you paid for the oils. Because if you paid like $40, I'm judging you.
Let's move on.
I was like, what are your oils for, though?
No, but I mean, that lines up totally with them being the starter family, because it's like they give you one sim who's advanced in his career, so you can kind of do what you want with Eliza. I mean, to take it from a boring non-story perspective. But this isn't about the logic of the game. This is about the history and the lore.
And it is interesting that instead of, this is the starter family, the easier starter family they give you, that you could just break them up and that's fine. We know you guys don't keep marriages happy, so this one's already not happy. Do what you will.
Oh boy. But there is a prevailing theory that Bob and Eliza Pancakes are a nod to the OG Sims, the first Sims, and the first tutorial family, Bob and Betty Newbie, who do make an appearance in the other Sims games.
So many appearances.
Sims 1, Sims 2.
Let's go back in time to another reality, shall we? Yeah. Like, we need like mystical, like time traveling music.
We need the Wayback or the TARDIS or something.
Go into the Wayback Machine. Somebody with a bow tie, take us to the past.
Bow tie required. So let's start in the Sims chronology first up instead of our real world chronology, because if they're going to make the timeline all wonky, we should just work with it instead of fighting against it.
Oh yeah, we had choices to make about what order, because there's many different orders we could go in.
Know whose idea it was to do this.
They could all cause confusion.
So take it away for Sims 3, the first in our chronology.
The Sims 3, Bob. He's a teenager living in Riverview with his parents, Robert Sire Sr. and Mags. We'll get to them in a little bit later. This is about teenagers right now. The newbie's house is small, but rather fashionably decorated, though they only have 2,000s in their household funds. Me, in real life. They also have a swimming pool and an expensive car. This usually means that they are the first household bills arrived on the second in-game day before Robs and Max have even been to work. So the bills take up half of the small savings. The apparent overspending may explain why the newbies are not very well off in future games, despite seeming to be in a good financial situation at the moment. Sometimes you gotta fake it so you make it, okay? That's all I gotta say about that.
They're renting that car. It's fine.
In your face, Eliza.
Also, there's Andrew's family, Bo and Victoria. They also closely resemble the Pancakes with the lazy couch potato husband and active artistic wife. Bo has medium dark skin and green eyes. He's an insensitive slob, how rude, who spends most of his time watching TV. Victoria is an artistic bookworm who spends most of her time reading. How are these two together? I don't know.
No, it's fine.
So it could be that the pancakes are a callback to the Sims 3 newbie couple.
Right.
Oh, no, the Andrews. Sorry, Andrews family.
Right. It could be like they took the name Bob from Bob Newby, but they took more of the personality and the dynamic from the Andrews family. It's possible.
Yeah.
The similarities are there, like the mismatched couple, they're childless.
Do you think Bob Pancakes only has a job because Eliza made him take one? No, I'm just sorry. I'm still back.
I think he's obsessed with pancakes, and he wanted a job making food.
That works for me.
Because he had to get a job probably to pay the bills, and then Eliza came along and encouraged him up the corporate ladder, and since he couldn't get into shape, he stuck with the career. Could be.
Well, maybe the pancakes are a part of the newbies timeline, but they just changed their last name since he likes pancakes so much.
And it wouldn't be a complete time, like an actual timeline, since The Sims 4 is the alternate universe.
I hate that so much.
I know, it's such a lazy way to be like, reboot.
We want to keep the same characters, but we don't want them to move in time. So
So we'll have all new neighborhood names. This isn't Stranger Town. This isn't Strange Town. It's Strangerville.
Strangerville.
This isn't Pleasant Valley. It's Willow Creek.
Was Riverview the one that you download? Was Riverview in Sims 3? I didn't.
Yeah, but that only it came with an expansion, I believe. It wasn't a base.
Okay.
I couldn't find that in my notes. It was like, they're in Riverview. It's fine.
So Bob Newby, he came from a family that bought like a few very pricey items, but barely paid the bills.
Mm-hmm.
So he has kind of not a good idea of money, really.
But he has a friend named Betty.
Friend, wink, wink.
Betty Simovich, who is also a teenager in Sims 3. For that one person that shipped the newbies and wanted to make sure they ended up together.
They had to be together.
If they're not together, then there's no Sims 1, and then everything falls apart. Because Bob and Betty Newby are the Adam and Eve of The Sims.
Move over, goths.
I know this
Jeez.
because supposedly in The Sims, as you know, we mentioned Bob and Betty Newby are the tutorial household. They are also supposedly the very first male and female Sims ever created by Maxis.
Oh, so we're in Sims 1 now.
Yeah, I thought we better move straight into Sims 1.
Yeah.
The Sims, where everyone lived on Sim Lane.
There's one town.
Robert Newby Jr., aka Bob, is a loner and a slob, and he's chubby. But yeah, Betty is his wife, and she's also a little bit different physically in the Japanese version, but, you know, it's fine.
She had a really cute, like, outfit with the little, like, purple sweater thing.
And, like,
she looked very put together,
capri
and Bob
pants, yeah.
did not.
I think they were both bookworms.
Oh, they fell in love over books.
I could be wrong,
Aw.
but because I didn't play The Sims 1, but
And Bob looked like he just got out of working at a car repair shop all the time.
yeah. You know, in some ways they also remind me of the Bundys from Married with Children, except without the children.
Oh, I think they had that vibe. Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe I wonder if they based it a little bit off of them a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder. That just occurred to me because, you know, Bob is kind of a slob and he's a loner, so I imagine he's not very sociable. But Betty, like her outfit kind of, it reminds me of like 50s mom, but it also reminded me a little bit of what Peg Bundy always wore, only without the animal print.
There was a 50s ideal kind of standard in the Sims 1 game. Because I think the 90s was going through a 50s, because you know how like stuff always comes back and
Oh, yeah.
like in fashion. I think the 90s were we were idealizing the 50s a little bit at that time. And this kind of modernized that 50s ideal.
Yeah.
Or showcased it.
And I think in The Sims...
The put-together housewife and the not-put-together husband.
Yeah. I think in The Sims you had to be, like, if you lived together, it automatically made you married. Like, I don't think there was a weddings per se, but if two adults lived together, the game just said they were married, which is also very 50s. So yeah, you had to complete the tutorial with the newbies So everybody who played The Sims knows the newbies, which really makes them the Adam and Eve of our franchise. Apparently, if you start the tutorial at their house, which is 7 Sim Lane, and end it before Betty newbie gets introduced, because I guess she's like out and then arrives at home after you've done like some basic stuff with Bob, then Bob just kind of goes on with his life, and I guess Betty ends up in like some sort of black hole. Ooh, I know where she comes out though. She comes out in one of the console games. We'll get there.
She's with Bella somewhere sipping teas. They're just like, we dodged some bullets, huh?
Uh-huh.
We sure did.
No alien abductions or pools without ladders for us.
Pools without ladders, you say?
Oh, yeah, that's a perfect segue. Why don't you do Sims 2? Let's assume you didn't break up, you didn't banish Betty, and Bob and Betty carried on with their lives. What would happen?
We're going to go 20 odd some years in the future, I'm assuming their ages. Bob and Betty have a child named Brandy, and she marries somebody named Skip Broke, so she then becomes Brandy Broke. And it shows, not in-game, there's no way to see it in-game, because when you start playing Brandy Broke, she's in a trailer park. But if you go back, because they had like hidden memories in there was like pictures in Sims 2 that you could go look at that had some like some past of stuff that happened in the past for them. You could see Brandy and Skip, and they lived with Betty and Bob before they moved into the trailer park. So they are dead by the time that the game starts. And also, suspiciously, so is Skip Broke.
What?
He died. There's a 2x2 pool in the back of their trailer park that does not have a pool ladder, and he unfortunately drowned before.
Ew, they just left the pool there?
In memorandum. They can't figure out how to get it out. But, so Brandy she has a teenage rebellious son, and she has a toddler, and if you play her for more than a day, you very quickly realize that she is also pregnant with Skip's last baby.
It's pronounced pregnante.
Pregnante. And also there's a cool thing, because there was a really awesome thing, which we could do an entire episode about this awesome feature in Sims 2, but there was a thing called Tombstone of Life and Death. It was like the cheat of all in-game cheats for Sims 2, and that's how they achieved Brandy being pregnant without Skip there pre-game. So the baby will come out male and look exactly like her every time, which is perfectly fine because she's like one of the prettiest Sims.
Okay.
So she's got like black hair and like gray eyes. Very pretty.
But Bob and Betty had green eyes. Don't even get into the genetics. If you go to the Sims Wiki, you can read all about the genetics, because people would go in and...
Fun fact, Gray Eyes was the one that was the most recessive in Sims 4 and Sims 2 that had the best genetics because it was introducing them, so they better be baller. But they had Gray Eyes was the most recessive, Green Eyes was right before that, and Brown, and then, no, it went Gray, Green, Blue, Brown. And Brown was what the dominant, as was black and brown hair, with blonde and red being recessive.
Gosh, I didn't know.
So,
we'll have to...
It worked exactly like how they they teach you in basic high school, like this is how it basically works, but obviously like red hair is really recessive until it's super dominant sometimes. But they worked the basic level of that. And so Gray Eyes was the most recessive one.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to do a whole episode on genetics if we can dig up enough info.
Sims 3 will be last. I hated it so much.
I know.
The Brokes have drama that's fun, like it's suspected deaths, unexpected pregnancies, and the Pancakes have drama that's real life drama, and I don't want to watch this marriage slowly fall apart. I want because they're just not suited for each other. Like this is everyday drama. I want epic scandal. Yeah, because the Pancakes they're an iteration of the newbies. I think this was one of the things of the alternate timeline that helped them out. That we're like, we're not pressured to stay here. We can. Oh, but they didn't change them that much. If you're gonna make an alternate timeline, you could have changed it.
But they had to bring in the fan favorites, which apparently isn't the newbies.
Interesting.
Except for the fact that we want a bad relationship we can break up. So they gave us that.
I want I don't want a bad relationship I can break up. I want a dramatic bad relationship that I can break up. Like the Pleasants in Sims 2, that was not a good relationship either, but they set it up. So it was going to be a dramatic fallout. What do you mean you're sleeping with the maid? Our twin children.
I miss this in The Sims 4. I like the backstories. I miss the storylines.
Yeah, doing a little bit more with the storylines would be my wish for Sims 5.
You just pop it somewhere in the timeline. It doesn't matter at this point. Nothing's in order.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit on...
Our stringed maps will get more chaotic that we have on our walls. This happened before this. Have you ever seen, like, when there's, like, trying to figure out, like, a mystery? There's, like, this big board that has all these strings of, like, connecting people, and there's different colored strings.
We don't have any fun, convoluted... Well, because they like shut down the continuity. They were like, oh, AU time. Just like console. Console is really not connected to the main timeline. Because the newbies appear in console games. Sims 2 and Sims 2 Pets. There's Bob and Betty newbie, but they look like completely different. Bob doesn't have a beard. He's got like a goatee, and they're both dark. Well, I guess he's dark-skinned, and she's kind of like tan-skinned.
They were like 3 skin tones in Sims 1.
Well, this is like console, and like they had a dog who's a Dalmatian or possibly a mix, because the pictures I looked at, he had like pointed ears, and I'm like, I don't think that's a Dalmatian trait, but okay. And then as far as the wormhole that Betty falls through, I think it's in the Sims Get a Life storyline mode of Sims 2 console, where if you play through that, there's a Betty in the Rumi's household that you can hook up with. So yeah, that's my theory. That if you dodge her in Sims 1, she falls into...
You can hook up? I don't know if our relationship is that strong, Roxy. Maybe I just want to be your friend.
She falls through a hole into the Sims 2 console. You want some Betty. Betty and Eliza are also derivations of the same name.
Eliza. I went so long. I was trying to make it through this episode without doing one of the Hamilton gigs.
No comments.
It's really hard. Eliza.
We will not say that anymore. We'll only say Elizabeth, because that's the root name of those two.
And Peggy.
That makes me think of Mad Men.
Aw. She was the BAMF. She was the best of them.
So for some reason, I love reading the etymologies of names.
Ontology?
I think the first one you said was right, I think.
We're not ologies. We don't know how to say these things.
Name meanings. There we go.
We're not ologists.
Okay. Newbie is a newcomer or novice and an experienced user of computers in general. This is a reference to the fact that they are the tutorial family in several games. Bob, short for Robert, meaning bright fame. Okay, I have never heard of Robert meaning bright fame, but whatever.
Bright fame?
Sure.
What does that mean?
Brightly famous. Get famous. It all leads back.
Is that why the famous people sparkle? Interesting.
It's because they're all vampires.
What?
Betty, short for Elizabeth, meaning my goddess oath. Brandy.
Oh, there's 2 names short for Elizabeth. Betty and Eliza. So it is Bob and Betty.
That's what we were trying to tell you, Caitlin.
I was too busy singing Hamilton. Leave me alone.
You have a problem. This is actually an intervention.
It's not a problem.
We're here because we love you, and you're going down the path we can no longer follow.
Melissa is here and will defend me in all my life choices.
I know, this is
Hamilton.
when Melissa just cuts off the recording because she's in charge. She's like, nope.
Listen, me and Melissa are just going to go sing some duets, and we'll be back later. So
we'll be right back.
1 second.
We'll be back after this quick commercial break.
Da, da, da. That'll be one of our bonus episodes, yeah.
Right. Brandy may refer to brandy, the alcoholic drink, possibly a feminine version of Brandon, which originates from the English place name. Yeah.
Like there's a place named Brandon. Brandon, UK. Let's just ask Rebecca about it.
Would you want to name your kid after an alcoholic drink? I've never heard this except for on the bottle, but my darling daughter, you are the only other thing I love.
Excuse me, my daughter Tequila has some feelings about that.
What's her nickname?
Newbie. Noob. No. Literally, I did nickname my second kid Noob because she was the new kid in the house.
That's cute. I was like second Tequila.
Joking about
Ela, I guess. No.
Tacky.
Yeah, tacky, but I don't know if you'd want. That's just
because I couldn't think of any other alcohols, and my cousin named his dog Tequila.
Oh God.
which he named after the John Woo movie. Yes.
It's short for Margaret.
Margaret. Oh my God, now I can't say it. Margaret. It's short for margarine.
How am I the one talking the best on this episode?
I've been up since 3:30 this morning.
You should be wide awake. R.I.P. We're looking for new hosts.
Please send your resumes to undertheplumbob@gmail.com. Thank you.
I hate you guys.
I feel like there's a ghost talking to us right now. I don't know. Continue.
Here's something.
I don't know.
Last one, buddy, which means companion, and is therefore a popular name for dogs. I've always hated dogs named Buddy.
It feels
There's a really
original.
cute book series about a buddy, and it's written really well.
Like Air Bud. I hate the whole Air Bud.
Air Bud?
It's like a 3rd grade level book where it's like the dog solves mysteries, but the way they write his thought process is hilarious because he'll be like everything, all things food he's attracted to, and
it's Air Bud, but that's
because he's a dog. Anyway. It's funny because we brought up dog names, and then my cousin's dog, Tequila, rest in peace.
See, like dogs and cats especially, you can name them anything. It doesn't particularly matter. I'm pretty sure my cat thinks that her name is Kitty because she'll look at that. But when I say Zara, she just ignores me.
That could be. I don't like to give pets last names in The Sims, unless it's something like Mayor Whiskers, because, yeah.
Sometimes I do, so I know that they are taken, and I don't try to adopt. I don't steal them, although that does happen in real life.
Steal the pets in your game.
There's somebody. This is probably gonna get cut, but there's a creator. She had a YouTube show she had a show on CW called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, but she's from YouTube. Her name's Rachel Bloom, and she has a song called I Steal Pets, and it's I steal pets from the popular people, and then I dress them up like the popular people. I steal pets from the popular people.
That's quality
it's
tangent
funny.
Right there.
Yes. It's got a song in it. It's on YouTube. It's called I Steal Pets. Also, all the songs. Also, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, my fave. And it's over now, and it's all on Netflix. So, yeah, I'm done.
So, did we keep up with the Pancakes? You know, we were kind of chasing them around like, Bob, Eliza, come back. You don't seem happy. Then you're like, they're actually newbies. And Bob Newbie's a teenager. And he has this friend named Betty Simovich. And then Bob and Betty were married. And they were Adam and Eve. And then Bob and Betty died. But they had a daughter named Brandy in memory of their drinking problem. So what have we learned?
Maybe that's how they stay together. All these couples stay together through alcohol.
I mean, anything's possible.
Don't have a baby to save your marriage. It's probably not going to work. Don't save your marriage through alcohol. That's not going to be good in the long run. What works for the newbies and the Pancakes may not work for you.
If you're drunk 24/7 and you can't figure out what's wrong, there is no problem if I can't see you ahead.
And get a Dalmatian named Buddy.
Or don't name him Buddy, Just other names.
So as far as like timelines go, the newbies are, they're sort of a cornerstone of The Sims, but their actual timeline isn't nearly as complex or convoluted as, say, the Goths or the Calientes or the Landgrabs. The newbies kind of end in the main continuity as far as, they have a daughter and she's got 3 sons almost, 2.5 sons. And that's pretty much it for the newbies, because then they go on to be Brokes, and we got to do the Brokes in their whole own episode.
Dibs on the Brokes.
Yeah, we got to do our own lore trilogy. We're definitely going to hang out in the Sims 2 area, do some good stuff with that. We've got so many Sims 2 stories to tell.
I love Sims 2 the most. Unbiased.
So we have this new segment we want to share with you. It's like an egg in our hands, like a brand new egg, called What Just Happened.
I'm so excited for this. I love this. I'm so excited about this idea.
Well, good, because I'm going to ask Caitlin to share one of the stories we got from our listeners about what horrible things or crazy things happened in their games.
Did you just want to avoid saying the name? I think it's Piper Maru, Pipermaru from Reddit. Underscore at the very after the U from Reddit. Yeah. So her story, hopefully, okay. One of my Sims, Mona, was good friends with this vampire team, Townie, Shayna. Is that Shayna?
Shania?
Shania came over during the day to see Mona and her kid Waki, and Mona's house didn't have a roof over the door or anything. I don't know how long Cheyenne was out there, but when I finally noticed that she was outside and got Mona to answer the door, Shayna burst into flames and died right in front of Mona and Waki, and poor Waki was just a toddler when he saw that happen. Crying emoji.
Why do they do that? Why do Sims that you've met just show up on your doorstep and stand there?
This is not the time for you.
The game doesn't tell you they're there. They don't knock. They're just hanging out. They stalking you.
Yeah, not even a notification saying, "Hey, came by to see you, old friend."
Meanwhile, in Seasons, the vampires got umbrellas, which could have saved Shania's life.
Could have.
But my Sim's dad was Caleb Vittor, and I know he has an umbrella, and I tried to invite him over during the day, and it told me he wouldn't come over because he's a vampire.
He's one of those old school type vampires. Doesn't trust those new fangled umbrellas.
Whatever. Just wanted time with my dad. Well, thank you for sharing that story with us. It's tragic.
Vampires.
We've lost more vampires by accidental daylight exposure than we want to admit.
They don't know what's good for them.
Your pain is our entertainment.
What? No, it's terrible and tragic.
Depends on how much you like the vampire.
Yeah.
This one was friends with, and the poor toddler will be scarred for life. Will he go into vampirism himself, trying to figure out what happened? Will he be driven to fight vampires? Maybe he'll become a doctor because of what he saw at such a young age.
He'll grow up with the erratic trait because no one will believe him.
That this person just burst into flames.
What? Oh, man. All right. And then we have some more shout outs. We've got to catch up on these and share with you all our wonderfulness that you guys have said to us about us. So, Melly, can you read the first one? It's an iTunes review.
Of course. This one is by Kamal's. Best Sims Podcast. 5 stars. Thank you. I was in search for a podcast on The Sims and I hit gold. I listened to all of the episodes in the space of a week. It's very informative, well researched, and edited. But my favorite aspect is how much these ladies make me laugh. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Team Llama and Team
Thank you. She's from Great Britain, too. So awesome. We have a teammate, Rebecca, who's in the UK. And it's really fun, finding out what's going on over there because they don't tell us anything in America.
No. And we're all just like, oh my God, what happened to you? Oh, I'm so sorry, but oh my God.
And then we ask questions we don't want to know the answer to, what's your maternity leave policy?
So, are you okay? No? Okay, me either. Okay, good catch up.
On the plus side, Caitlin made this wonderful chart that you can get on our website. If you go to undertheplumbob.com, there's a page for gameplay tips. It's called How To. And on there you will find this chart about how to appease the gnomes that come to your Harvest Day festival and ruin your life because you don't know what makes them happy. They're really hard to please. So I spend time on Instagram. I follow this one simmer named Orca Star, and she does a lot of different Let's Plays. And she was posting about how, stupid gnome, I gave you pie. How can you get mad about pie? So I said, FYI, Plumbob Cast, which is our name on Instagram, has a gnome chart on their site because I got to be humble and not be that's my podcast. It's awesome.
Yo, check out my pod.
But she said, you are my savior. So I was like, oh, cool. I'm someone's savior. So yeah, if you also want to appease your gnomes and not have to worry about them anymore, check out this chart. It's amazing. Caitlin made it herself, and I was super impressed with her research.
I researched it. I don't think I actually made the chart, but I did research it and just go on the chat one day and was like, so I didn't see this anywhere, so I figured it out. And I came out... But I'm excited that thing is taken off. I keep seeing it posted without other people who are not us posting it, and I get oh my God, that's our chart.
Well, if you Google it, nothing comes up for it. And now, since you did that, that's the first thing that comes up. Because I've looked at it before.
Yeah. I can't believe
Yeah.
Carl hadn't covered it, or like I think that everybody assumed it was random, but no, you can actually 100% satisfy
the
your
gnomes.
gnomes, which isn't
But
that
it is. I
everyone's
will say
goal?
the chart's not 100% because some
Mhm.
of the gnomes are appeased by numerous things, and I did as soon as I was terrorizing one family, and I felt so as soon as I found one that worked, I was like, okay, coffee, cool. Okay, moving on to the next one. I'm so sorry, and they're also on the gallery, the testing family. If you also want to terrorize them, but I love them a lot, so be nice to them.
But torture them with gnomes because Caitlin already did.
That family has caused me to decorate a house because I felt so bad. I'm decorating a home for them because I just put them in one of the pre-made homes and just wasn't good for them. So,
Careful, you'll end up being a builder.
oh my god, I don't know if I can handle that.
Caitlin.
Speaking of building, Cowplant is coming up next with a episode on the 10K Starter House Challenge, which if you do a search on the gallery, there are lots of homes that are under this tag, and they're going to hit you with all their tips and tricks. So, Caitlin, listen, become a builder, embrace your inner Bob, the builder.
Can he build it? No, it's can he fix it?
Yes,
Oh, you're right, but he's the builder, Bob, the builder, Bob Newby, the builder.
Robert, is he married to Elizabeth?
Anyway, and we're going to come back with hitting you up with all these special skills that have come out with all the different expansion packs and stuff packs, and we're going to focus on the ones that aren't necessarily like useful. They're like novelty, or they aren't required for a career or aspiration. But
We're all gonna learn yoga.
yeah, let's learn yoga. We'll go over all the skills that are in the things and the stuff and the. Yeah, so this is great. Let's just tell you where to find us so that you can follow us everywhere before we leave you.
Yeah.
We're on social media. Why aren't you? We're on Instagram and Twitter at PlumbobCast, as previously mentioned. We're on Reddit at Plumbob Podcast, where you'll most likely run into Caitlin because that's her jam. We're on Facebook and Tumblr at just Under the Plumbob Podcast, and we have a website, as previously mentioned as well, but go there. It's undertheplumbob.com. You can find all our links there, and you can email us from the website or directly at undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com.
Woo.
We're also now on Twitch and YouTube, and we're slowly starting to get some stuff out. So it's Under the Plumbob Podcast on Twitch and on YouTube.
Yep, I'm posting a series on YouTube right now.
The 7 Toddlers Challenge.
Yeah, raising townies as toddlers.
So far, my favorite running joke on that is the since you can I spoil one of the Sims you age down to a toddler?
Oh, please do.
So you age down Greta, who was an elder. You age her down to a toddler, and there's just running jokes of her being an old person but in a toddler body. So she she has to go nap. She's old.
She's afraid of robots and new technology.
It's been my favorite running joke so far.
Yeah, subscribe, rate, review us. We're on iTunes, Stitchers, TuneIn, Spotify, Google Play, and other places that you might listen to podcasts. If you have a podcasting that we're not on, let us know. We will definitely add it to the list.
And thanks to Vanity, who assisted on the research for this. And we'll post, and we'll post a couple links in the show notes.
Well, as always, thank you guys for listening. We're glad
Thank
you're
you.
here.
Yes, we're so excited. Guys, I think it's time to go back to the real world.
I guess.
Why not? I got nothing better to do.
Yeah. And my cat has come out and is now yelling at me.
It's time. When the animals come in, it's time.
It's true. The animals know when it's time for us to stop talking.
I can't barricade her anymore. It's gonna when I'm recording. So this should be at some point. You're probably going to definitely hear her in the middle of an episode.
Treats. That's what I do. I give my dogs treats and they're quiet and then they fall asleep.
Badish. Dag dag. Yeah, Melissa's right. It's Gita, not Greta.
It's Gita?
Yeah.
Potato.
Oh, I didn't scroll down.
I don't think anybody will notice or complain, or they'll figure it out, or maybe they'll email us and tell us we made a mistake, which we're totally fine with. I have a section for corrections that I never have anything to put in.